3rd John, and Revelation. Do you have an idea where Patmos is? I always kind of thought that it was near Crete. So I looked it up. I don't know if you can see that. Israel's here. So it's way over here in the Aegean Sea. So,
is that where he was in prison?
That's where he was in prison. Yep, that's where he was exiled. That island.
How many miles away from Cyprus is it?
I don't know. I didn't actually calculate that. You'd have to
200
Google.
miles.
You have to Google it.
It's not that far.
It's like 5 inches.
Yeah.
Well, Israel's 200 miles tall, right? And that's about the distance of Israel.
Yeah, I don't have the legend down there. So today's main point is salvation should produce Christian love. So we're going to talk about Christian love. God is the source. First point, God is the source of absolute truth that teaches us about godly love. John identified that the truths he taught were established by God from the beginning of time. Contrary to popular belief today, truth does not change over time. There is absolute truth. Truth is absolute because it is based on God's commandments. And we can see that represented here in 1 John 3 through 4. And hereby we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. So he's making this tie between truth and God's commandments. There's a connection. You reject God's commandments, you're going off into what will be lies. John makes the point that those who keep God's commandments have the truth, and those who reject them become liars. God's commandments are reliable and do not change over time. Therefore, John is able to state that God's commandments are not new, but have always existed. So we come to this statement, 1 John 2, 7 through 8. Brethren, I write no new commandment unto you, but an old commandment, which ye had from the beginning. The old commandment is the word which ye have heard from the beginning. Again, a new commandment I write unto you, which thing is true in him and in you, because the darkness is past, and the true light now shineth. Now this passage gets a little bit challenging, because it feels kind of contradictory, right? On the one hand, he's saying, there's no new commandment, right? The word we had from the beginning is true, and it's not changing. This, again, is pointing at absolute truth. But then he follows it with this statement. A new commandment I write unto you, which would seem to go against that. In this verse, John is talking about God's commandment from two different perspectives. On the one hand, God's commandments are not new. They have always existed with God, and they were recorded in the Old Testament. For example, he's going to talk about love. Does anybody know where love, the commandment to love, was first given in the Old Testament?
In the Old Testament?
In the Old Testament.
Oh. In the law?
It was given in the law. That's good answer. Deuteronomy 6:5 tells us we're supposed to love God, and and Leviticus 19:18 says we're supposed to love our neighbors. Right? So this that he's going to be talking about, and many of the commandments that he talks about in 1st, 2nd, 3rd John are not new. Okay? So from the perspective of these truths have always been, they're not new. But from a different perspective, we now in the New Testament, with the Holy Spirit, have new light. Right? We have the Holy Spirit. And so from a different perspective, there are new truths, new aspects of these truths that we didn't understand before. God is expanding our understanding of these original commands. So he's going to talk about love in a minute, and here's kind of an example. Now, I want to ask you this question before I go too far. Let me go back to this. Notice this word right here, verse 8. Right before he gets into this,